Good evening. I'd like to call the October 21st Ashland Board of Health meeting to order. The first thing on our agenda is citizen participation. Do we have anybody for citizen participation? Okay, that being said, next thing, Raj, is you for the housing issue at 49 Cherry Street.
Thank you, Chief. So I don't see anybody here. There was notified the property owners. This property is maintained by Jordan Properties right now. So I did send a little timeline to the board, what has transpired so far on this property. So around 15th August, right, we did get a complaint from a occupant regarding conditions at the unit. This is right on the right side of the town hall. There are 3 apartments in that building. So we did an inspection on the 19th, and there was an item that I was concerned. Now in the unit, the walls have this, kind of black spots. Looks like it might be caused by fire or something. That was the reason. There was a delay in between for us to send the order letter out, right? And I asked the fire department to go look with me, what's that, right? So we have that, but we sent the order letter on the 30th. We sent the order letter on the 27th, and it got delivered to a Newton address on the 30th, but then we had no response from the owner for almost a month. But digging into the ownership, and I got the phone number from the occupant that the phone number belonged to Jordan's Properties. And I have to give them a call. They said, never got notified by the owner. And then I sent them the order letters. This was, I guess on the 13th, I got an email from their attorney that, the matter is in the court, he'd been evicted and stuff like that. And on the 17th, I got another email from the property manager saying that they didn't get access. Now this is where we are. We don't have compliance on this property, so that's why it's in front of the board.
So Raj, is anybody living there now?
Chief, when I went with the fire department, right, on the 8th, October 8th, the occupant still have access the property to him. Yes, he allowed us. Me, Lynn, and a couple of other fire officials went in, and then a couple of other concerns, right? Yes, he still have till the 8th. I know he was still an occupant, so he was not at the property that time, but he was still allowed us access. The other thing I was concerned, just want to bring it to the board now, in the kitchen wall, there is a big crack, so I'm definitely concerned about the structure of the building that I wanted to ask the board, right? I did speak with the building commissioner as well. He said the property owner need to let him in to analyze, right, what's going on with that. So that's like my other concern, along with those black marks, that's on the walls.
So Raj, when was your last communication with the property owner or the attorney?
Last was when I sent them on the 17th that they need to attend this meeting. It went and it was confirmed that they'll be here.
Is this them joining now, or?
I guess Ms. Hills is with the Cirrus Apartments. That I know. Scott Francis, can you please tell us if you are with the 49 Cherry Street?
I'm sorry, I'm not. I'm with MORE, Massachusetts Organization for Addiction Recovery.
Yeah, thank you. I guess we saw you last time.
Yes, and thank you for your kindness last meeting.
Thank you.
So good to be with you all.
All right. So why don't we let's do this then for now. Let's wait. Why don't we go on to the next item? We'll go on to Cirrus Apartments, and then we'll see if they join us. And then if not, Raj, we'll have to get a letter out to them. Or maybe we should probably just let our legal counsel know.
Hi there, this is Cirrus Apartments.
No, no,
So-
this is something, hang on, we're talking about different, we'll be right with you, Sarah's Apartments. Raj, just especially if we're concerned about a structural issue and if people are in that building.
Right, Chief, so that's like one of the concerns I have, though. And the other thing is non-compliance with the order letter that was sent out on the 27th. I guess, yes, it's more than a month and a half, right? Like we should pursue this, in the court. So I'm probably going to see the legal counsel tomorrow on another matter. So if you advise, I'll discuss this and we'll file it, so.
Yeah, why don't you, unless they join us for now, and if everyone from the board is okay, we'll have Raj check with legal counsel tomorrow, and then Raj can just update us by email what's happening unless anybody else has any questions for Raj. No? All right, so Raj, let's move on to Sarah's Apartments.
Thank you, Chief. So this is an ongoing thing. I know the manager of Sarah's Apartment is here with us right now. So I've shared some pictures from the dumpsters. It's going on from last year. I know there is a manager change, but recently we have issue with an open dumpster that's been overflowing that I've seen at least 5-6 times over the past 6 months, and a week and a half back, I had a citation of $100 for the non-compliance that the management have paid since, so. And Regina, I will give it to you, if you have anything to say. So Regina, the current manager, she was in office last week, she did mention that they're working on it, it was on the agenda before I hear back from her, So Regina, if you have to say anything,
Yes, thank you. This is Regina. I'm the new property manager here at Sarah's Apartments Homes. I just started here in May, and I was made aware that the 30-yard dumpster in the back of the property needed to have a cover. On May 20th, I did reach out to BP, who's our vendor, and ordered that. It was, according to him, it was ordered, and then he told me that it was going to take at least several weeks, probably in mid-July. I reached out in mid-July because we had not received the dumpster and I got no response. I did let him know that we were out of compliant with the city and I need a response immediately. And then I found out that the dumpster had got canceled. Had no idea. I found that out in the 1st of September. I reached out to my corporate office in regards to the non-compliant on his side, no communication. So we have now changed vendors. We are working on getting a cover for the 30-yard in the back, as well as a pad to place the dumpster on. So we are working on it. Every time that he comes by, I never see him at all. All I get are emails saying that we are out of compliant. I want to work with you guys. I want to have a partnership with you guys. But I mean, I just never see him until that there's an issue.
All right, so I have a quick question for you. So you were using BP and now who are you using?
Lawrence,
Okay, and Raj, is that BP 30-yard dumpster still there?
To last time, Chief, I was there, yes, so
Right.
this
It's not
been
there
going
anymore.
on. Sorry, Regina, we'll give you time to say that, so I know she's complaining that I've never seen her. I have sent her multiple emails to no response. I've been on site the property 2 times for pool inspections. The second pool inspection, I was standing in front of her office for 10 minutes before anybody will let me in the property. So that's not what I do. So I am on town time. I have limited time. She was complaining that I don't come when she's in office. That's not how we operate. So this been going on with no response either side. I send you pictures for 5 times that the dumpster been overflowing. So that's why they are in front of the board now. So it's like it should be 5 tickets or more than that right now that have given her 1 ticket, and that she was very upset. The whole town was shocked with her behavior.
All right, so my question is why isn't BP picking up their dumpster if they're no longer in contract with Cirrus?
So the contract ends on October the 31st. So currently, right now, we have BP on site as well as Lawrence.
Okay.
We have Lawrence in the back because of the 30-yard not being covered, but now we do have a container back there. It's the wrong dumpster container because it's a bulk container. It doesn't allow the residents to dump their trash. So that has to be replaced. My contact from Lawrence is coming out here tomorrow, and we are going to walk the property in the back so that I can explain to him exactly what we need.
So, all right, what time is that meeting?
At 11 o'clock.
So my question maybe, and again, Raj, I don't know what your schedule is. Maybe if there is a way for you to be there at 11, Raj, and make sure Lawrence knows what our guidelines and what we expect.
Chief, I won't be able to do 11 because I have a board meeting, but
Okay.
as not the board meeting, I'm sorry, my team meeting at 11. That's
Okay.
already scheduled, but Regina, is there any other time we can do that?
No.
I'm happy to be there.
Yeah, it's going to be tomorrow at 11.
Yes,
So
I have a meeting at
I will
11.
know exactly what is expected. You guys want the 30-yard in the back on a concrete pad, and it has to be covered. Is that correct?
It's your choice where you put your trash or recycling program. Yes, this is by code. It need to be on impervious surfaces, and it need to be contained all times. It need to be covered. You cannot leave that open because
No,
at
that's
this
what I'm
point,
asking. That's what I'm
Sorry.
asking.
Yes, the trash need to be contained. It cannot be in an open dumpster, period.
So I think so let's have this all happen, and then hopefully BP is going to pick up their 30-yard dumpster, and hopefully Lawrence can get them into compliance.
So we still have a 30-yard dumpster at the main entry because our main dumpster is down. We have 2 cylinders that are bent and they're on order. So that's why we have a 30-yard parked right there in building number 3. That is being picked up twice a week.
So Regina, let me ask you one question. So from when is this compacted down? Because it's like almost more than a week that I see that open dumpster in the front as well.
It's been down, this would be the 2nd week, so that would be correct.
So when are we gonna get it fixed? You know, we cannot leave open dumpsters on the property because now I'm concerned about the neighborhood too. You know, the rodents, you're gonna bring it there, gonna affect my neighborhood around too. You know, it's just not
Okay,
about
but
serious apartments.
Raj, I just said, we have ordered 2 cylinders. They are on order. We do have to send this emergency bid up to my asset manager. He has to prove it. The work is in progress. I just got the approval from Lawrence that they found the 2 parts today. So it's not like we are dragging our feet. The moment that BP told us that, hey, there is something wrong with your dumpster, we jumped on this immediately.
Gina, what is your control for the rodents till then? You know, are we gonna openly allow rodents to come to these dumpsters and have a buffet? What is the plan for the rodents?
No, do you have any suggestions? Please let me know because I have no idea.
I mean, somebody
Let
need
me
to have an
know.
idea. There are 400 units there, right? Like, if we're gonna keep the open trash, like what you tell me, how we gonna control it? You know, so like that solution you should be giving me because I'm concerned at this point because I've seen rodent activity around the dumpsters. We're gonna keep the open trash like that, and we don't know the timeline. You know, so who's responsible for it?
If you have any ideas, please let me know. All I am trying to do is to work as quickly as I can to get the part here, and that's what I did. The moment that BP informed me that the dumpster is down, I got a 30-yard because I knew that my residents were going to start putting trash in front of the dumpster. So I know that that was an eyesore. So I got the dumpster, but I am open to any ideas that you have about the open dumpster when I'm doing all that I can to get it up and running as quickly as I can. So I'm open to any ideas.
I don't know about, you know, what to say, but this has been going on for a good amount of time. You know, we're talking about more than a year. You know, this is not today's
So,
problem. You know, the town.
But
town
I've been here for 5 months and I've done more in 5 months than the prior manager did in a year.
all right, Raj, why don't we do this? So, Raj, when is our next board meeting? What's the date for that?
Chief should be November 4th. You know, for us for right now.
November 14th?
4th,
Right.
sir. 4th.
November 4th?
Yes, please.
Okay, all right. So since this part, Lawrence supposedly has this part, why don't we give this till November 4th to be corrected? If not, I'm sorry, your name is Regina? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, Regina. And if this is not corrected by November 4th, we'll have you back at our November 4th board meeting, but also with your corporate office, legal counsel.
Okay, that's not a problem.
And my fellow board members, does that sound reasonable? Or anybody have any other suggestions?
That sounds good to me, Ed.
Maurice, you good? And David?
Yeah, agreed. That
Good.
sounds good.
So we'll give them the few weeks to get that rectified. Raj, you good with that idea?
Sir, totally. I mean, hopefully this doesn't spread the rodents, you know,
Right.
like, I mean, I get that, you know, but I tried my best, you know, it's just not today's thing, you know. But
Right.
again, if that's the board's decision, yes, I'm 100% agree, you know, yes.
Yeah, especially where she's saying that this gentleman has this part that they need and they can get them into compliance. So we'll give them till November 4th. If not, we'll expect you back at our meeting with your legal counsel.
In the meantime, can we get an update about the meeting tomorrow?
So like an email update.
Yeah, Regina, can you, after you meet with Lawrence tomorrow, can you send Raj an update that he could then send to us as the board?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any comments, questions? Great, thank you, Regina.
All right, thank you.
I noticed somebody else joined.
Yes, Mr. Rob Jordan.
Yes, hi, good afternoon.
Do you represent 49 Cherry
Yes, hello,
Street?
can you hear me okay?
Yes, can you hear us?
I do, sir.
Uh,
I
do
can. Can you hear me okay?
Yes. Do you represent 49 Cherry Street?
I do.
Okay, so we can go back to that. Raj, you want to take it from here?
Sure. So Chief, as I was explaining, so we have non-compliance here with the order letter that was sent on August 27th, so along with the concerns, with the cracks as well as those black spots that's inside that. So Mr. Jordan, as I spoke with you, right, this was on October 7th, right?
Correct.
We want to know till October 7th, in between August 30th and October 7th, why we didn't get any response regarding the order to correct letter that was sent to the property,
Sure. So, my company, we've been managing these two properties on 49 and 53 Cherry Street for maybe 15, 16 years now. We're always very responsive almost immediately whenever we get a notification or communication from the town of Ashland. The notifications and communication usually come directly to our office. These particular communications went directly to the owner of the property, who does not handle day-to-day activities. So Tim forwarded over these documents over to us right when he received them. Unfortunately, he has a Gmail account, and for whatever reason, our Office 365 mail server was blocking some Gmail accounts from getting to us. He had assumed that we had received it and we were acting on it. In fact, we never received it or even knew about it. When Raj contacted us directly, that was the first time that we learned that there was a notice out there. So we acted on the notice immediately, contacted the tenant, attempted to set up a service visit to assess what we needed to get done, get the tech scheduled and get them in and start the repairs. I know this has nothing to do with the Board of Health, but this particular tenant happens to be under eviction. They owe over $12,000 right now. We just finalized a court case with them. We have a move-out date that we're working on with the courts. So he is refusing access for us to even get in and complete these repairs. So we did have our housing attorney get involved. He did contact the Board of Ashland, the Board of Health, directly to let him know that, this is where the court case is. We are working on getting a move-out date with the tenant, and then as soon as we get the move-out date, we will get access. I did talk to the attorney about filing some sort of restraining order to get access, but he said by the time that we actually get that through the courts, we could potentially have a tenant out, and then we can just get in there and do whatever repairs, the town is requesting of us. So that's the current situation where we're at right now. I do apologize that this has been going on for so long. We just never got notification of it.
Rob, quick question for you. I know Raj has some concerns about structural and wanted to get the building inspector in there. Is there anything that your legal counsel can do to assist us to at least get the building inspector in there to see that the building is at least safe for somebody to be actually even living in there?
I can do whatever the board is recommending I do. If the board wants me to speak to the attorney about filing something with the courts, I can. If the city wants to put together a letter that we can provide to the tenant, instructing them that we need access, we have a legal right to the unit with proper notice. And we also have a legal right to the unit if there's an emergency situation, but he is just refusing access because of this court case and eviction. So I did review Raj's order. I did not see anything on that order regarding anything structural or cracks.
Mr. Jordan, just to let you know, when the fire officials or this was back again, right? So that's why in the order to correct letter, I mentioned that this is not complete. There was concerns about those black spots. There are black spots along the walls, right? And this particular item, that's why it's not in there, So I have written in the first paragraph, I've written a note that, we'll be back with that,
Okay.
So
Yeah, and regarding the black spots, that was a concern of ours as well. We did hire a mold company to go in there and do testing on the surfaces and the air, and we did not receive any type of reports that was of concern. So it's not actually mold, it's discoloration. I don't think the house was probably insulated correctly when it was originally built or additions were done. And I think, some of the walls might be breathing through air, and however that tenant is living might be causing some blackness on those walls. But it was not found to be mold on those walls. So,
can you please
just, yep.
go
I
ahead,
think we
please
sent
go
that,
ahead.
I'm sorry, I think we sent that report to you.
No, I didn't receive it, so if you can send
Okay.
that to me, right? And
Yep.
if we get access, right, are you okay with the building commissioner, building inspector going into the property? If I speak with your occupant, are you okay giving him access? Because this is what, when I spoke to the building commissioner, he wanted, kind of okay from you guys to get into the property. So are you okay with that?
Yeah, I would never withhold, the city coming into any of our properties. If there's any concern they're concerned about, I'm concerned as well. But, in regards to this property, this is a very old house. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some settling cracks in different areas.
Sure, but again, not my expertise. That's why
Yep.
I wanted, fire and building, to get in and do their work. And one last question now, if the occupant, if I speak to the occupant and he allows you guys access, are you okay to move forward with the repairs now?
100%.
Sure. So let me speak with him in the morning tomorrow, right? And I'll let you know about the access part, at least, because that should not be the story we should be getting, right? Like, I mean, usually happens in these kind of situations. So I will speak with him, like, hey, you will need to give access for the repairs, and if that, I will convey it to you.
Yeah, no, that all sounds fine. And, we're a professional property management company. Unfortunately, we deal with evictions pretty regularly. And then usually when eviction starts is when the health department gets involved with the tenant call. And then we try to do repairs, and then they're not allowing access. So, I've been doing this quite a long time. This is unfortunately a very common occurrence for us.
No, I hear you, sir. But at that same time, it doesn't, stop us. We have to do our work.
Of course.
So.
Of course.
Chief,
Anybody have
anything
any
else, please?
Anybody have any questions?
I had one. So
Thank
you said that there was or there was not yet a move out date for the occupant.
So we were in court, I'm going to say roughly 7 to 10 days ago. There's always a 10-day waiting period after that default in court for the tenant to file appeals. And I believe we're coming up on that 10-day period. So as right when that 10-day hits, we're allowed to go back to court and then ask for the execution. And then if we're granted that execution, we can move forward with scheduling the constable if the tenant does not move on his own. And then we can have a constable assist him with moving him out. So we're very close to that process. So if you didn't want to kind of complicate the situation over the next couple of days, we might be able to expedite getting him out. And then we have free range to bring in building department, health department, my techs to do repairs and do whatever we need to do to get this unit safe. Or I don't believe it's unsafe, but get it repaired based to your standards.
So you think you'll know by the end of the week, you would know for certain if you have a move out date?
Yeah, I wouldn't say anything is ever for certain with the housing courts. It all depends on how soon the attorney can get back in front of the judge. But as soon as our 10-day waiting period is up, we're allowed to file our motion to ask for the execution.
And how long after that does it usually? take to get the actual date? Or I guess I should say, what is he, yeah, how many days
Yeah,
after that does it usually
sure.
take
No,
place?
it's a fair question. It really depends on the judge that's sitting for the hearing. We could get a decision at the hearing. The judge could take 24 to 48 hours to return their decision.
Great, thanks.
Yep.
So Raj, do you, because of this whole court thing, you want to wait? So like, do we want to come up like, if we have something by a week from Friday? I'm open, whatever anybody thinks we should do here.
Chief, we should be fine. We just don't want it to be dragging on, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, so,
if you think we can wait till then, till then,
Yeah.
get the,
so Rob, can you get in touch with Raj next week as soon as you hear from the court?
Yeah, I'll be in constant contact with him directly, and we'll keep him updated on our status on our end. And just please understand that our goal is to work through this as fast as possible. And honestly, if we got the original notice, that this would have not been an issue coming up right now.
Okay, anybody else?
I'm good with that, Ed. It sounded
All right.
like Dave was going to suggest that anyway, to hold off, and both parties seem to be cooperating. So
Right.
that sounds
Okay.
good to me.
Yep, that works. All right, thank you, Rob.
Okay, thank you for the board's time. Thank you, Raj.
thank you.
Okay,
All right,
bye.
so the next thing on our agenda is Raj's report.
Thank you, Chief. So first the tobacco free generation, right? From the last meeting, I did see our legal counsel regarding the matter as the board asked, right? So the legal counsel have advised that we can go both sides. We can adopt this as a regulation if the board need to, right? Or as a bylaw. If we have to do it as a regulation, then it's the board, right? It's the board's vote. We can adopt the regulation. If it's bylaw, we have to go through the town board. So that's the legal end. Then I speak with the management, and the management is kind of that we want to do a public hearing for the matter, So this is where we are, and probably we'll prepare maybe for the next board meeting or one after. We can have a public hearing on the matter, and then the board decides, how do we want to proceed on it. Anything, sir, or should I continue with the agenda?
Anybody have any questions on that? Actually,
I do. Sorry,
go
my
ahead.
audio
Go
is stuck. So the idea is public hearing, and then the board would vote on.
On the regulation, Dr. Jaf will be adopting it as a regulation, right? In the back, we do have to work on a regulation, right? If that need to be adopted. So we will work at the department level on that, So, but public hearing for the regulation that we will be voting on.
Okay. Yep.
So
that's my understanding so far, of the matter,
Okay.
So public hearing, and then it's either of two tracks. Either it's the board votes or the bylaw path. Is that what I'm understanding?
I guess, Mr. Kingsman, it's just gonna be the board's decision. We'll be doing it as a regulation. I get at this point, I guess it's that we adopt it as a regulation, not the bylaw.
Oh, okay. So we're not interested in the bylaw.
That is correct. And then yes, and then those are the options. But we're more inclining towards the regulation at this point.
Is there a reason for that?
I don't know, but that's what I kind of got it from the management.
So that's from the town manager.
Of his office, yes, I talked to my supervisor,
Yeah.
Chief, I guess Dr. Zachary, I don't know if we have if you want to allow them, it's up to you, So
Yeah, we can. Go ahead.
Just wanted to give an update since we spoke last that since then South Hadley decided to have a public hearing and then had the Board of Health vote and adopted tobacco-free generation. That was the only to give.
Yes, Dr. Zachary, I read that, a couple of days back in the nicotine-free generation newsletter. That's the 18th community, correct? Right?
The 18th. Yep. Yep.
So my question to you now, all these communities, I know you've been working with, right? Do they have a formal regulation that they're adopting, or they write one? Do you have any sort of that document? Just curious. Again, we'll work at our end. Maybe
Yep.
I'll have a conversation with you. So.
Like I said, every community's done it a little bit differently.
Sure.
Newton, for example, decided to write theirs completely from scratch. Hopkinton, we sent some kind of a draft that they considered and adopted. So
I will speak with you, sir, on that. We'll work at the department level, right? Again, but I was just curious, as kind of a coalition you guys have, right? If there is anything like that, but we'll work on that, So.
Yeah. I believe I already have sent you, but happy to send the what Hopkinton passed as a template if that would be helpful.
So I have a quick question. Did you attend the Hadley public forum?
Yes, yeah, remotely.
Were there a lot of people there, or?
Yeah, a lot. I would. There were a lot at South Hadley. Every public hearing, there is a lot more people than a normal Board of Health meeting. Yeah.
Okay, and obviously, and were there obviously probably more pros than there were cons? And what were some of the cons what were some of their comments? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I don't want to speak for a position I don't hold myself, but the common ones are, we hear from retail owners saying this is going to impact them. I have my own thoughts I'm happy to share with you on that. We hear there is a lobbying group at South Hadley. There was a lobbyist from Altria, Philip Morris lobbyist, that was present as well. You also hear people that talk about how this is a again, I don't want to get too much into other people's, because it's not, I don't want to misrepresent their views.
Right.
But people saying, yeah, these are
Sure.
them, that nicotine is so important in their life and they don't want, various other things. But I do feel comfortable saying that at South Hadley and others, the con has been a minority viewpoint.
Great. Okay. And real quick, Scott, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I think some of the cons as a result of other people's addictions, So people want to make money off other people's sickness. That's one of the things that they want to do. And because let's face it, what age would you want your kid to start smoking cigarettes at? I have a pretty consistent answer. So, and I just really want to thank the board of hearing this, and also the time that you're given to us, and really considering the pros of this, and also, I guess you're doing your diligence about hearing the cons. As much as I don't like it, okay, you're doing your job. Okay, so thank you for hearing us out, and it really is. It's something that, as a citizen, I live at 17 Maury Drive in Ashland. I also work for Moore, so this isn't just my job. It's a passion of mine. It's been really the most difficult addiction for me to overcome, and it cost me thousands of dollars. It almost cost my wife her place of residence, because she was living in this house as a kid, and her mom said, "Look, you're not going to stay here and smoke cigarettes." So she kicked her out. Actually, she did get kicked out of the house, and then she met me. So see, these are the horrible things that can happen if people smoke cigarettes. But I appreciate you guys, and thank you so much for allowing us to be here and participate. You didn't have to do that, but you did. So thank you.
Thank you. Raj, we can move on. So Raj, you'll just let us know when we can get a public hearing scheduled and what that will look like.
Definitely, Chief. We'll work on that, So.
Okay. All right, so this is the continuation of the October 21st Board of Health meeting. Raj, we were at the drug take back day, which is this Saturday.
Yes, thank you, Chief. So again, as I mentioned, it's the police department who is doing the event. Only thing we are helping them is with the drug take back box that we do routinely, right? I was there at the community center today to look at the drug box and hopefully swap it, before the event. So that's our role there, but it's a police department event. The clinic's going good. Last clinic was on Columbus Day. We was on 13th, myself and our nurse was here for the clinic. We did a total of 49 shots that day. This is with the pharmacy again. And then we have 2 more scheduled, one for October 27th, that's at the town hall, from 11 to 1. And then we have another one scheduled for our seniors at the senior center or the community center. That's on October 29th from 12 to 2. Ashland Day, I thanks the board members to be there. We do had a table at the Ashland Day. We distributed Narcan, and Nurse Ann was there with me. I saw almost everybody there, right? Mr. Kingsman was at our table, right? Dr. J, and I might have missed other ones. I saw Barbara there, but thank you for all of you, for the support. I was there like for 3-4 hours, very good event with a lot of food vendors. I guess it was all successful, a lot of food trucks, and Tom was there for the inspections before the start of the event. With the housing code training, with the code change last year, I'm going through tier 3 training from our training hubs in Needham. So I had 4 trainings there in the past month. Every Monday, almost, I was at Needham Health Department for the housing code training. Then for the 5th training, my trainer, she was at the town hall. Then I have a couple of other trainings with this tier 3 housing training that are upcoming. So one is in December, we're going to be at a hotel in New Bedford doing housing inspections. There'll be like mock housing inspection where we as inspectors need to go in and do a housing inspection with all the paperwork and all that. So that's a lot of learning, at least for me, with the new code. So one thing I have learned, I want to mention it to the board, any pest issues are now under the new code are considered like living, like kind of a danger to the living conditions. So that had to be cited within 24 hours. So that's one thing that I've learned now with these trainings, besides other things. Other than that, we did have our HMCC meeting this past week on October 15th, where we did the hazard vulnerability analysis, where we go vote for various hazards, right? Like where they fall in on our priority or how we are prepared for it. We look at all the different hazards like bioterrorism, any snow events, flooding and all that good stuff. I guess there was close to 35 hazards we have looked at and scored, so that was on October 15th that I attended. With the shadows shelter, as I mentioned last time, they did clear our housing inspection that was there, right? So we closed that. But with the food part, I exchanged an email with the director there, Mr. David, that he's saying still that they don't need to obtain a food permit from Board of Health. I'm kind of mixed here, right? I'm not very sure that if they do, what they are saying that they have no role in the operation of the kitchen, is the residents of the shelter that do cook there. So that's there. I'm still looking into it. Like how we're gonna go about it. But meanwhile, we did had another complainant come in last week complaining about some conditions at the shelter that she mentioned that she's going to send me an email for her complaint, and then we'll look into that again. So that's the unpermitted chickens at 237 Pleasant Street. They have still not applied with the conservation. So we're still waiting on that. I guess Donna being out there, working or, reaching out to the property owner at 237 to get going with the Conservation Commission, and after that it'll be us. Another thing, we had a couple of complaints or multiple complaints from one resident, right, about the unpenned chickens at 44 Valley. Donna and myself have been on the property multiple times. I did speak with the permit holder, I guess Monday, that yesterday, yes, right, that he'll comply with the not letting the chickens out, so there is a neighbor behind the property who pretty annoyed with the chickens, that let and coming into their property that me and Donna are not able to verify, but they have sent us videos and pictures, but we are working on that situation. Hopefully with our, I guess Donna has issued a citation also on this at this point, so hopefully that resolves it, but it's still ongoing situation with that. Housing cases, Joint Drive, last week I did the inspection at 19A Joint Drive, number 3A, where all the issues on that order to correct letter was addressed, except that we still have some pest issues going on that the management is doing bi-weekly pest control for right now. And same with 20 Joint Drive, number 35 and 10, that is just the pest issues left. With the arbovirus, it's almost end of the season, I guess, right? In this season, we had 8 West Nile cases, human cases, and then 1 animal case. Gladly, but there is no AAA cases in the state so far this year, so that's a good news. I guess West Nile also was way down. I guess last year, not wrong, there was 18 cases at least, so that's good news, so. With the disease investigations, we have 2 TB cases that we're currently working on. And I guess that's all I have, so for the board, and I'm open to any questions, please.
Anybody have any questions for Raj?
No, thanks, Raj.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So the next thing on our agenda is the consent agenda, review and approve the fiscal year 25 year-to-date budget report and the meeting minutes from September 16th. Do I have a motion?
So moved, Ed.
Second.
Second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous.
Aye.
Next thing is discuss future agenda items, tobacco regulations, review, well regulation review. Raj, anything on that for now?
Chief, tobacco regulation, I know it's pending for a good amount of time. That we'll do along with, this new tobacco thing, so that we'll work on. Other than that, well regulation, our sustainability had kind of, they had an event with Hopkinton, at our community center regarding the wells, right? So we need to work on our regulation and, get the geothermal wells in the regulation. So we should be permitting for that. If somebody have to put a geothermal well, they should be, getting a permit from us. I guess over the last 2-3 years, I might have heard a couple of people installing geothermal wells in the town. At least that has come to my attention. But we have to work on our regulation to have that in place, and so that we start permitting for geothermal wells. So that's why this was on this.
I have a suggestion also.
Okay.
In addition to that, so I think that we should have an agenda item on the tobacco-free generation and what the options actually are for us, because I feel like it's moving way too fast, and I don't fully understand, the conversations you had, Raj, with management. My understanding was that, there was interest in this, and that maybe residents would, aside from a forum, actually have a public forum. They would have a say in it, a town meeting, if they wanted to vote on it or something like that. And that would be a bylaw, I suppose. but I just think that we haven't fully considered it. And I don't know how you all feel about that, but I'd like to know, and I think that we need an agenda item in order to discuss it.
I
So,
agree.
so Raj, maybe for an agenda item for our November 4th meeting, after you speak with Michael or Beth, to maybe let us, like, maybe bring us what that public forum would look like. How does it get advertised? All that kind of stuff. Is that what you mean, Jay?
Yeah, and what
Yeah.
are the options? So
Right, what are our options? Right.
if residents want to do this and they want to vote on it, that's my understanding is that's one thing. If the Board of Health wants to make it a regulation, well, then we really need to talk about what that's going to look like,
Right.
because this is a very significant thing.
Can we get Raj, maybe could, if Laura has time, could they get us the regulations from the other towns that have, or maybe 2 or 3 of the other towns, and get those to us so we have something to review?
Absolutely, Chief. So that's one item, right? So again, we have to work on a regulation also before, it's not right. Like, see, if that was our thing, right? Like, I mean, we're gonna do all the work, and tomorrow if it doesn't get adopted, right? So it's a little tricky. We will do the background work, right? Like how it's gonna look, but me speaking with that, definitely it's gonna go out on our social media, right? Once the public discussion is gonna be in place that we had, that is gonna go out to the community that, hey, this is coming up on the Board of Health, so
Right.
that's all that is gonna get followed, so but like we're gonna have a regulation, I guess, at least a draft ready, I mean, we need time too. It's not right, like, at least from my end, I have a lot going on, like,
Yeah.
so
But again, no, but what I think, but like with what Jay is saying, if we can get a copy of 2 or 3 cities or towns, what that regulation looks like, that's going to help us answer a lot of the questions that we may have, and just kind of look at the differences. And so if that's something Laura might be able to get us.
Yeah,
Yes.
and in addition to what it might look like, just even really tapping the brakes here a little, what are the actual options? So does it have to be a board regulation? Can this be something else that allows the public to really have a say in, and I mean voting on it, which is another way that communities go. Because you're talking about something that is, very close to controlling people's own personal behavior about health decisions versus public health. And that could be argued, but I think that we need to fully talk about that amongst ourselves. And I think that we have the freedom to do that as a board. So that's all I'm saying, you know what I mean?
No, Dr. Jay, I totally understand, right? But like, yes, I agree with you, but we need to do our groundwork too, right? Like, I mean, how we're gonna go about it, yes. So first, like, yes, we will send you a couple of regulations, right? To look at, right? And then go from there, at least, so.
It would also be really helpful, because it sounds like Michael, the town manager, and you and perhaps other people have already had a conversation about this, and they favor going down the path where the board votes for regulation. It would be helpful if we at least knew what their reasoning was behind that, because I agree with a lot of what Jay just said, that it's certainly at a open forum, the residents of the town will have a chance to voice their opinion. But I also share his concern that, we'd be restricting freedom for, for an entire generation plus, and that's not something we should do lightly.
So maybe even part of the next discussion too, Raj, is maybe we should see if Beth or Michael could even join our meeting for that short, brief time to have this discussion with them.
Yeah, that would be great.
Certainly, I can ask them, and then.
Yep. And we
Mr.
can put them
Kingsman
like
again,
first on the agenda, just so we can kind of get a feel for what they're looking for from the town side.
I will definitely request that, so, we can work on that, so,
Okay, thanks, Raj.
absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you. Anything else?
Sorry, does anybody have anything else before I ask for a motion to adjourn? All right, do I have a motion to adjourn? Anybody?
Motion
I
to
motion
adjourn.
that we, I second the motion.
Motion in a second. Everyone, thanks, everybody. This was a good discussion tonight.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for your
Thanks,
support,
Ed.
Gord.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a
Bye,
good one.
everybody.
Thanks. Bye.